Okay, we're live, folks. So as we load into the server. Alright. Gotta fix my stuff. Give me just a second. You are. Let's see here. Oops. 475. 80. Oh, just 500. Yeah. Alright, there's that one. And being fixed as well. Back to 500. Now, part of the reason I gotta adjust my UI settings here, folks, is because I had played in windowed mode to fix an issue the other day. And it did not like my current UI positions and settings for certain things. There we go. Got some rot on me that I need to deal with. But we're back in Vintage Story on my multiplayer server as we gear up to go to the archives on Saturday. So 2 days from now, effectively. A little longer, realistically. I should put that in this. Because it's going to be Saturday at 2 p.m. EST. And we got some work to do before we get there. Like, I've got some armor, and I'm going to need more armor. Because I know I got players that don't have armor. I've got players who are going to need weapons. You know, just a whole lot of stuff that needs to be finished. And food. We're going to need a ton of food. But I'm not doing the cooking, per se. My wife, my actual real-world wife, is working on that process for us. Because she wants to go to the archives as well. And I kind of set this rule that if you want to go to the archives, you've got to help contribute supplies. You know what? I'm going to put this down here, eat that. I'm going to leave the flax in here. We're going to pull out all these tree seeds. They don't need to be in this box. There you go. Kind of using this sort of as like the prep box to go to the archives a little bit. I'm going to set up another one here in a bit. Let's see here. I'm putting these tree seeds in your farm there, dear. All these tree seeds come from her panning random soils, so I figure it makes sense to store them in her box here. And I can put the flax fiber somewhere easier for people to get to. Yeah, let's see here. What else can I do? I'll take that. There we go. Alright. There we go. That's better. I can just take these flower seeds that she got from panning and go plant them. Alrighty. Still got to deal with the animals in the house. There we go. Oh. Tree didn't make it. Yep, the red apple tree didn't make it. Sadness. Alright. I need to harvest the bees. Got lots of stuff to do. Harvesting the bees to forging more weapons and equipment and stuff. So let's get started on... Let's make an actual, like, dedicated storage chest here for some of this stuff. Let's see here. Let's grab the saw because I'm going to need some more boards. Start with that. See where that gets us. Actually, what I will go ahead and do... There. And... There. Mostly because that gets me just enough to get rid of 8 logs worth of wood there. Alright, now... I need more nails. Yep, I'm out of nails. Okay, well that's an easy problem to fix. So we'll get... Now we'll do this over here. Alright, so let me grab a piece of coal. We're going to make eight nails, because that'll give us a fair amount of nails. That wolf we hear in the background is actually my wolf. It's not a bad wolf, that's a good wolf. Just throw those logs in there and get them out of the inventory for the time being. Excellent. Grab the tongs, I'm gonna need those. And actually, that would be something I could do. Yes. Yes, let's... Right, so I need some boards for making chests, but we could also get another storage crate or two. Yep, in 2 business days. That's right, General Efficiency. General Efficiency is going to the archives with us here. So I'm going to put this up here, and we're going to get all this galena. And just put it in the storage crate. Because it's taking up too much chest space. Yeah. Alright. There. Any more galena? I mean, I do. But it'll be alright. Cool. Alright. You're processing some iron blooms? Yeah, feel that. Yeah, don't die me now. For some reason, my hellhammer sometimes gets confused that the wind's blowing and just stops. I don't know what's going on with it. Sometimes it just gets easily confused. Good. Grab that later. This is my new automated sluice, by the way. Oh, my walking leveled up. Alright. Come on, hellhammer. But everybody having a good night? You having a good night there, General Efficiency? Oh yeah, some of the chiseling tools from the mod we added. Nice. Yeah. That's good. Alright, so let's make nails. It'd help if I had a hammer. Oh, wow, this is so much more efficient there, General Efficiency. You're right. You were telling me about this the other night. I've never actually tried making the nails and strips from a plate before. Palette tool. Nice. Yeah, I actually have seen that mod tried out on another server. I've never tried it myself. I've seen some other people use it. Yep. Here, let's put these copper bits away. There we go. So now let's put these in here. And hopefully I can make this out of different colors. Wood? I can. Cool. Here's one chest. Go. Oh, I can get all 8 chests. Perfect. Beautiful. Alright. Put this wood back in here. So there we go. So kind of what I'm thinking, General Efficiency, is we're going to take a chest for everybody, and that's going to be kind of like the chests they carry on the adventure, because I'm going to add the carry-on mod. And that's going to be a way for them to be like, okay, this is the loot I get, and they can shove it in the chest, and then they can just carry their chest home with them from the thing. It's kind of what I'm thinking. I do need chests, though. Deal with that.
Do you need to plant more flax?
I mean, dear, the truth is we always need more flax. I'm also picking a place for your distillery.
You need more flax boxes.
Well, yeah, we'll get some more flax storage places. That's my wife in the background, folks. Is anyone going to take the sailboat to the archives or walk? I don't know, because I haven't actually explored the route. That actually might be a good thing for me to do today, is go explore the route. Yeah, see, it might be worth meeting up and taking the sailboat. So let's see here. If I put that there, and okay, how does this work? I've never actually built one of these. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, perfect. Distillation. You get to send me a screenshot? That'd be great. Alright. First you'll need boiling conditioner. Boil can only be fueled. Okay, yep. Fill condenser with water. Okay, so the boiler can only be fueled. Place the bucket under the condenser spout. Okay. Next step. So first you'll need a boiler. Ooh, and a condenser. Ooh. But how do I place them? Okay, I think I see the problem. Hold on. I think I figured it out. Where's my lantern? Get my lantern in my offhand so I can actually see what I'm doing here. Let me do this. Because, does this go this side? Okay, what am I missing here? Transfer, control, nope. No. Ah, I had to shift click, that's what it was. So let's try that again. So let's do it like this. Alright, there we go. Alright, let's see, you just sent me the screenshot there. Alright. So we're up here, yep. Down around there. Yeah, I see it in the channel there. Yeah, so looking at that. Alright, so coming back to the game here, we go to my map. Based on what I'm seeing, we could basically, because the archives are way down here, we could basically sail to like right around in here and then walk down. Yeah, it might not be a bad idea. Alright, dear, I got you a present. Got my wife's present. So yeah, it might be worth taking the sailboat, because it wouldn't be that far of a walk over to the water here, and that'd give us all a faster trip down. I'm just trying to decide which route would be the best for where we should meet up. Because this gets pretty hilly in here. That's true, we could go meet over at OK's place and then go down to the sailboat. That could work. Yeah, we'll talk to OK about meeting at a sailboat. You know what? I'm gonna make my wife one more thing here. His route to the docks has a tunnel that bypasses all the mountains and stuff. Oh, good to know. Take a look at that. Oh dear, I also figured out why you were losing stuff in the mixing bowl.
Wait, what?
I also figured out why you were losing stuff in the mixing bowl.
Why?
You were leaving a cooked pot in there. If you're kneading stuff like the offal and whatnot, you should remove that first.
Oh.
Or at least I think that's why. From my little bit of testing I did. There you go. Is this my thing? Where's it? Oh. There it is. That's what I want, right there. Oh, 9, perfect. Yeah, that'll be perfect right there. We're gonna make some lanterns. So, for people who've never seen the lantern making process, there we go. That's not what I wanted. Good. Alright. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. Now, let's grab... Let's firewood. We don't want firewood. Let's grab some peat. We're gonna grab some peat. 3 should be enough, I think. And we'll light this up, because we're going to make a couple more lanterns, help light up the place a little bit. You've got... Put a lambda side on the side of your house and chisel the flag of France with the creative blocks. Ooh! My wife's going to be jealous. The whole French flag. Yeah, I saw the screenshots. It was pretty cool. Let's see here. What color lantern do I want? You know, I've got brass and I got copper. So we'll do some copper. We'll do some brass. Brass. 30 to 40%. So if I did like 60 and 40, 500 units of brass. So let's go back in here. Get another 60. Yeah. Put this away and put that away. Just to save myself some copper. Go a little heavier on the zinc here. There we go. Grab some more. Some more coal. Need like 6. Do something. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna go see if my candles are done. Yep, got some more candles. It's off here, so I might go back to cooking. Yeah. There for the moment, just to save myself a little bit of inventory space while I come in here and steal some more pie. There we go. Did I steal your pie, dear? There you go. Yeah, one of my players was talking about, he was trying to use his pulverizer, and the wind decided to stop, just die on him. And I was just like, yeah, it happens to me a lot when I'm trying to use my Hell of Hammer, personally. Let's put this grass away, too. Got a full sack of coal there. Nice. And we lost general efficiency. Alright. Granite. Chalk. Limestone. I have to really get those, like, boxes that can sort. Yeah, it does that sometimes, where it will disconnect. Go. Charcoal piling up there. Am I cool? I have to do another charcoal run soon. Oh, we also finally fixed my wife's motion sickness issues with the game by getting her the true third-person camera angle thing. this here. Dry grass, there you go. Look, man, you're just getting ready to celebrate for when we defeat the archives. It's real low tonight. Go. Add this to my stack of iron blooms to be processed. Good Lord. So what is the recipe for it? I haven't even looked it up yet. This is from a mod that we added, a clothing accessory mod thing. That's here, cigar. Hand rolled. So we get paper and vines. Alright. Hilarious. You must be getting a lot of paper from somewhere. Alright. Let's put the candles in there for now. I'm going to need these tongs back in a second. So much brass. Brass. From your book. Let's see here. Let's put the flax in here for now. There we go. Then at some point I'll get the clothier mod, or the clothing trait, and I'll be able to make the tailored gambeson stuff. Be nice. IG, I'm the first person to think of making thing before anyone else. I mean, yeah, you made paper and you made a book in the game already, which is pretty impressive. I've never actually made paper in this game, to be honest. Never done it. Just like in my vanilla playthrough, I just started my steel furnace. For people who want a little bit of spoilers for tomorrow's episode coming out on my channel. Be my first time ever making steel in the game. I'm trying to be nice and let Army Bacon do it, because Army Bacon's going to be on for the Resonance Archives. So I'm trying to be nice and let him do it. And I'm only 3 pieces of clothing from it. Like, I can just go get 3 pieces of clothing, put them on, and get the trait that way. But welcome to stream, folks. I see a couple more of you have joined. We're making some brass to make some more lanterns, and then we're going to get into doing some more ironwork. Yeah. Basically, I'm trying to let Army Bacon fulfill his role on Saturday. Because I want him to be able to do his class stuff. Even though I'm, like, drowning in flax right now. And that will continue. Go. Alright. By the way, you need stitching kits for making this clothing of the mod. Okay, that's interesting. So you need, like, the sewing kits from the clothier trait? That's kind of interesting. I didn't know that. I should get my ingot molds back from Leaf. He stole my original set of ingot molds. Said he was going to borrow them. Ran off with them. Just keep that warm for now. Yeah, we'll keep it over here. Put it right there. I don't want to burn the You can burn the metal out of your crucible if you leave it in a hot fire too long, by the way, folks. There we go. Alright. So that's done. My wind power is going up and down a lot. Well, let me show you something absolutely ridiculous, by the way. So I installed that, what you want to call it? Actually, this way. Grab the chalk stone just because I can. So I installed that stone cutting mod, right? You know, to do all the stone cutting and stuff. So this is the rubble storage bin. So what you can do is, let's see here, what is it? Say control. There's some button command that will let you like add all of a stone type from your inventory to this thing. But anyways, we're just gonna do it this way. So, alright. So we've got like 322 stones in there, right? I'm even gonna get some more. This thing maxes out at, okay, so it maxes out at like 512. Good to know. Okay. Alright. Yeah. So I burned myself with the crucible there for a second. Let's get back up to temperature because it looks like these molds will be done soon. The other thing I'm going to show you here is I'm going to grab this rubble hammer. Which is the tool that is added by the quarry mod. Grab this out of here so it doesn't burn out on me. Cool. But, so you know how we have this like crazy, you know, panning contraption I built over here, general efficiency. So this is a sluice for those who may not know. And I've got this that just feeds stuff into it, and I went ahead and filled every slot with just a random dirt block, just so it auto dumps everything, and then those goes into the hoppers, which then goes into the chests down below. Alright? This is my crazy, like, auto panning system. Well, so, yep, exactly. So I made this rubble storage, right? And I made this thing called a copper rubble hammer, right? I put a bunch of stones in it that I get out of the sluice. I can just right-click and turn all that stone back into gravel and sand. Alright? Which I can then feed back into the sluice. You see what I'm getting at here? I've made a self-feeding sluice. At the cost of a little bit of copper. There we go. Okay. That's the end of that hammer. So let me just go toss this over here real quick. Alright. So that got me what? Let's see here. We'll take gravel. And we'll take the sand. There we go. Alright, so let's come over here. And let's make sure I've got all my chalk out of here. So that's limestone, that's fine. Highlight, that's fine. Alright, so I've gotten all the chalk stone out of there. I put in like 500 chalk stone, 512. We're just going to throw all this back in here. And watch it just pan away till it's heart's content. And we're going to come back later and check and see how much chalk stone I got back out of it. So soft. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Every time. I always forget. Yeah. Let's keep it warm enough. Smelting purposes? Probably not. just want to keep it molten. Let's see if that keeps it warm enough. All these become hard brass. But yeah, and see, you just auto dumped all the stuff. It's great. You don't even want to think about how much copper I burnt through just building this nonsense. So much copper. It is kind of cool that you can see the different stuff that you're getting out of the sluice. Oh, got a bowtorn. Moving bowtorn. Got him. Alright. That arrow back. This arrow back. I guess I lost the other arrow. Oh well. Yeah, but I got a replacement. And some more flax. Which is what he did. More flax fibers. There we go. Well, yeah, that's my crazy auto-panning setup. General efficiency. I might have gotten a little carried away. Good. This brass is indeed hard. Set this all down right here briefly. There you go. Is this still molten? Yes. Excellent. This brass is just still barely hot enough to pour. There we go. Just barely got it all. Alright. Nice. Because basically I'm going to turn all that brass into plates and use it to make lanterns, for those who are curious. You're grabbing slate for your roof? Nice. I do want to see how the slate roof looks. I've never gotten to do a slate roof. And it's already panned the first stack of gravel. Or it's already working on it. I already got an 11 chalk stone. Made a bunch of fruit bread with the gelatin that gives plus 3 hit points back. Nice. Gelatin's a lot of effort to make with the expanded foods and all that stuff, but it's really good. I'm hoping that we'll start making some fruit bars here soon, because the fruit bars, I think, also have a longer lasting duration on before they spoil. But it does require, like, gelatin and stuff. Put the tongs away for a second. Put flax away. Alright, so while that brass all cools, this is our puppers. Everybody, look at the puppers. We can pet the puppers. I named her Pepper. But we're also going to give her a bone. Oh, you want a bone? Bone, here you go. Good puppers. We can also play fetch with her. Using this dog toy. Alright, alright. Oh, there you go. Give it back. Come on. Come on. Drop it. I'm keeping the dog toy. Can I have it back? There you go. Yep. You want me to throw it again? There you go. Nice. You got a fine cut chisel so you can make polish from salt? Very nice. Yeah, she's almost fully obedient. Now I'll go put away my loot. Alright. That in there. So what do I need to repair this? So I need some chain. That's easy. And from there, I need chain and plate. Gold plate. No, I need... Let me go back. So I need...
My my
chain.
distillery over there?
Yes. I built your distillery. I even put some tender under your distillery. I was talking to you about that earlier. You just ignored me. Right, so... chain. Is it basically the same process for this one?
No, I
No, just iron plate. Okay.
thing.
So first you need to put some liquor in there. First you need to put some liquor in there and some water. If you read the instructions in the book, handbook, it'll tell you how to use your distillery there. Deal with all that later. Still soft. Right. Well, I think we'll start working on got really low wind speed right now. Yeah, we'll wait on that. So what we'll do... How many bricks do I have? Yep, so I've got enough to do the rest of my iron. Perfect. Good, get all this processed. Yeah, I'm trying to make iron chainmail for everybody who needs armor and doesn't have any.
I still have to put a bucket down.
You can now really mass produce your street lamps. Oh yeah, with the chiseling mods. So these are the street lamps that General Efficiency's talking about there, chat. And these things look gorgeous.
Did you already build a fire pit underneath here?
Yeah, I did. You just gotta add firewood to it.
And where's the fire pit? Under this thing?
Yeah. I think you just need to right-click it. I'll come tell you. Did you add the alcohol to it and all that?
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, so you got your... Yeah, it's fueled for 8 hours. Perfect. And then you need to add water to the condenser.
Water.
There you go. Yeah, I might pay you for a couple more of those street lamps there. General Efficiency, just because they are. I think it's like 30 liters or something. If you read the instructions, it'll tell you. Grab this coal. Oh, got another one. Oop, and got temporal gear. Look at that. Pull back just for it to have a place to go. There you go.
Just like a build a boiler with 30 liters.
Yeah, 30 liters of alcohol, sorry. Listen here. There we go. Alright, is this hot? Yeah, that's cool now. Grab the tongs again. Burn myself with more brass. Yeah. Windspeed just not wanting to cooperate today. Alright, so... kind of done what I can do there. I need to put the saw away. I don't need the saw. That away. Alright, well let's work on the charcoal burn while we get ready for... wait for the wind speed to pick back up a bit. So let me grab... axe. And we're going to go cut down a few trees. And let me also grab the shears. Because while we have sticks, it's always good to have more sticks. And tree seeds. No shears. That between feeding my wife's oven and my charcoal pit, constantly needing firewood. I should check see if we have the next generation of pigs yet. Alright, ready to eat. Make, ready to make. Looks like we don't have any pregnant piggos yet. So let's get them some food. My pig food storage. There we go. I'll have a good wait. just have a couple portions of food for you too. So these are Generation 3 pigs. So I can actually just slaughter them as necessary. We're trying to get them down to Generation 10. And I'm going to kill one of these boars because I don't need 2 boars. I need to add a secondary pig trough for them. There we go. Pigs. I really have too many sows in here. I should probably actually get rid of 4 of them and then only keep 3. Those 3 in the back are just being lazy. What's going on with these 3? Well, I fell down through the piglet chute. That's how it filters out the piglets. You know. They are hungry, hungry pigs. Go eat some more, please. I want you to get up. At least want one of you to eat 10 units of food. Yeah, you're up to 7. Alright, dude, the pigs are going to need a lot more food. Alright. Let's go get this firewood. So, we've been talking about this. My community and I are discussing carving a monument on probably the other side of this mountain here. It's kind of a little marker for the village. Oh, we got some mushrooms over here. These are common morals, so these are good to eat, I believe. Yep. I'm gonna walk to the fancy room of the archives, whatever the loot room is. I'll be staring at everything like a Victorian child in a candy shop. Yes, you will. Because it's an impressive room. Even I was quite impressed with it the first time I went there. It was like, it's just an impressive place in the archives. And all the morals? Yeah, looks like that's all mushrooms. Now to the firewood. Oh, nope. Found some more. 10-hour work shift. Oh, after getting off a 10-hour work shift. Yes, yes, very much so. Yes. Now I understand. Don't mind me. I can read words. I'm actually trying to get a couple more people to join us for the archives. Like, I'm trying to get Rack to join us. And I'm also trying to get Kinwaz to join us as well. Yes, I know I'm harvesting the poisonous mushrooms, folks. Before you start going, what are you doing, McRom? Why are you harvesting all the poisonous mushrooms? There's a method to my madness. Is 1, it increases my foraging because of the level up mod. 2, poisonous mushrooms become compost. Why? Someone just built a random stand of dirt here. Me throwing Rack down the archives ladder pit, seeing how long till they panic over the shivers. Well, don't worry, I've got a solution for Rack. One of the things I found for Racknith the other day, and sent to him, I don't know if he's tested it yet, is a mod for dealing with arachnophobia. It doesn't get rid of the creatures. They still exist for you. They just don't look like their normal arachnophobic-inducing forms. Changes what they look like. I should probably test it myself. And I probably will test it, actually. I'll do a video on it. Go off so other people who might have the same problem as Rack have an option. I came out here for firewood and got distracted by mushroom picking. This is what happens to me every time I play this game. I'll be like, ooh, yeah, let's go get firewood. Ooh, mushrooms. Like, that's my life in this game. Yes, I need to go out in the forest and get this resource. Instead, I end up with a backpack full of mushrooms. Or random other things. Berries, sometimes. Sticks. It is. It's free compost. Or food for the non-poisonous varieties. Or, it's like, you know, bowl roulette. Which bowl's gonna kill you, which bowl's gonna be tasty. And not kill you. That's also why I don't let my son do the cooking when I play with him. He doesn't... It took him a little while to figure out to check that before just using random mushrooms for food. I'm just happy I haven't run into wolves or bears over here yet. That's another common problem over here. Good mushrooms. Lots of random, like, animals in this area. But now that my wife has a still set up, she can actually start growing mushrooms. Once she makes some aquavitae. Alright. I think that's all the mushrooms I actively see around here. Yeah, okay. Alright. Alright. We're done being distracted by mushrooms. Okay. Let's get to actually cutting trees like I said I was going to. Alright, ooh, this is a nice sized tree here. Snip off some pieces here. Until we get an acorn. I really don't need all that many sticks right now. Got an acorn. And we'll grab what sticks we did drop. Alright. No one tell Rosie I'm using oak trees for firewood and building. I don't know that I'm actually going to have enough inventory space to carry this oak tree back. This oak tree's going to drop a lot of wood. Alright, I'm going to have to plant this other oak tree. That will work. Yep, ran out of space. Well, I'm kind of hungry, so what I'll do is this. We're going to drop that real quick. Rosie was on earlier? Oh, wow. Was she on the Discord, or is she just hanging out on the server? Still not enough space cleared up. Hello, how you doing? Is that oh crap! I just ate a poisonous mushroom. Okay, I'll live. I'll live. I just on the server. Alright, I managed to survive the mushrooms and almost dying. No, this is not Minecraft. This is Vintage Story. They do look alike. And that's because Vintage Story originally started off as a set of Minecraft mods. Originally. But then the mod makers ran into a game engine problem with some of the stuff they wanted to do. And so they went and built their own game engine to run their mods and storyline. It looks like a Minecraft mod, I know. It is because it is a voxel game, just like Minecraft. But this is the survival game that everyone wishes Minecraft was. There you go. That's the easiest way to put it. It's actually really cool, though. So, and it's actually a really interesting story how the mod author that ended up becoming the dev for Vintage Story got started. And so for people who know anything about the storyline for Vintage Story, there's pictures of butterflies everywhere, right? Everyone's like, why are there pictures of butterflies everywhere? Why is it in all the lore stuff? Why are there just like paintings of butterflies? That's because the developer's wife, when they were playing Minecraft together, wanted butterflies in Minecraft. So the first mod he ever made was a butterfly mod for Minecraft. And so now butterflies are just throughout the game. There's like 30 or 40 something varieties of butterflies in this game because of that, from that mod that he originally made so many years ago for Minecraft. That's an interesting tidbit of just the history of Vintage Story. But yeah, no, this is like the survival game that everybody wants Minecraft to be. So if you like hardcore survival games and Minecraft, Vintage Story is what you're looking for. If you just want to play Minecraft and build stuff and whatnot, you can do that in Minecraft, or you can do it in this game. Either one. I'm not going to tell you which one's better, because they are both great games and both serve their niche. Yeah, it's super wholesome. Like, it's a beautiful little story. And, like, I found out about that from another guy who did some research into it, basically. I'm gonna go put these poisonous mushrooms in the composting area before I eat more of them. Yeah, I think there's actually more butterflies than what I even counted. There probably is. There's like a whole butterfly catching mechanic, which I've never even played with before, like, apparently. There we go. Alright, I've got the poisonous mushrooms out of my inventory so I don't accidentally eat them now. There we go. Alright. And this is my charcoal pit that I'm working on. Because you have to actually make charcoal. Not just like throwing it in a furnace. You have to build a real charcoal pit, like how they used to do it back in the day. Which my father used to make charcoal, by the way. A weird tangent of story. He used to build charcoal pits like this. I was a colonial reenactor for a while. My father was the charcoal maker for our group. Yes. The answer is yes to both of those. Like this part is just survival right here, what we're doing right here. Now, yeah, like in real life, my father did that. As I said, I was a colonial reenactor for a while. Part of the reason I love the blacksmithing in this game, because I was the blacksmith in real life. And I like how they did the blacksmithing in this. I never liked these. I never lit these. Good lord. These are my bloomeries for making raw iron into iron blooms, which I then have to refine into iron ingots. Yeah. So, yeah, that's actually how I spent my teenage years. I was basically a professional blacksmith, kind of through college. A lot of fun. But yeah, so this game hits those checkboxes for me of like, oh man, this is one of the most fun like blacksmithing games I've ever played. And it's not even entirely about blacksmithing. It just happens to be something you do a lot of in this game. You know. And basically what I'm doing is I'm taking the logs I got and splitting them into firewood, put in my charcoal furnace, in case you're wondering what's going on here. Alright. That sack's full. There we go. Alright. And this is some rammed earth I made. So basically, this is super compacted earth. But yeah, no, I love it. And one of my friends, who goes by Racknith on here, he loves it for this kind of same reasons. Very similar, yeah. Yeah, put that. Actually, I'm going to put that back in my inventory before I do this. I about messed up my order of operations here. So, to make your charcoal pit, and to make charcoal in this game, you have to... There's my axe. Right, there's that. You have to actually... So you build basically a dirt box or stone box or whatever of firewood. Seal it all in. Leave one open slot at the top here like this. And then take a piece of grass and you start building a campfire, which is just a piece of grass and 4 pieces of firewood. And now, you'll notice at the top of my screen here, it says charcoal pit unlit. So what we have to do now is we have to light the charcoal pit. So we light the charcoal pit. You'll see it says lit, and you have 30 minutes in-game to seal it, which is 30 seconds in real life. And there you go, you seal that hole up. And now this will sit here and burn. And the way you can tell it's working is if you see smoke coming up through the top of it like that, it normally continues. It's not continuing for some reason. But anyways, it should be working. I've done this like multiple times. But you'll let it sit there and burn for like a day. And then you'll come dig it out and you'll have charcoal. You can use charcoal to do things like refine your iron and all that. Fancy, good, nice, fashionable. Check this out, fancy. Okay. I never made charcoal. My father did, which means I know the process from him doing that. I used charcoal. I still, when I get out my forge and plink around some, I still buy charcoal and use it because you can buy industrially made charcoal these days. Not the stuff you use in like a barbecue grill. That's a different type of charcoal. Charcoal briquettes are not real charcoal. Well, I mean, they are real charcoal, but you don't want to try to use them in a blacksmith forge. This is my pup. This is my dog. I tamed. Yeah, you don't want to use charcoal briquettes in a blacksmithing forge because it's not pure. So it's got a lot of additives to it. And those additives prevent it from getting up to the heat you need effectively, as well as they'll add some impurities into what you're working on, which you don't want to deal with. So what you want to, if you ever want to buy like commercially made charcoal to use in a blacksmith shop, there's a couple companies that make it, and they make it in bulk, because some people who do grilling prefer what is called lump charcoal, is what you'll look for, is what they call it these days. And that's just charcoal that's just made out of like raw wood. So the original kind of old-fashioned charcoal is in modern times called lump charcoal. Cool, these mushrooms. And if my gameplay gets worse, that's because I now have a cat trying to lay on my hand while I'm trying to run the game. Yep. So there you go. There's your little charcoal introduction. Yeah, I love lump charcoal. It's actually what I use in my charcoal grill, just because I actually prefer it. Something childhood stuff. I'm restocking my wife's charcoal crate here, because that's actually my wife's character I just walked past. So we're preparing to go to a big story POI this weekend. It's called the Resonance Archives. Hey, you know, if you never had a need to look for lump charcoal, because it's not that common. I mean, if you live in the States, anyways, you can get it at any Lowe's or Home Depot. They'll have it in their grill section, but they'll have just like one stack of it next to like 10 stacks of regular briquette charcoal. So, if you're like most people, you probably go in and just be like, oh, I just need some briquettes, and you grab it and use that. Or you use a propane grill like one of my friends swears by. I have a friend who like refuses to use charcoal grills. Oh, good. My wind speed's high enough I can make these into plates now. Yeah. So again, most people never look for it, which is why it's not super commonly even thought about. All right. Gotta do a bunch of ingots at a time here. So this is the blacksmithing. This is my blacksmithing area. where I have a Hellhammer set up, being powered by a windmill. That one didn't light. Come on. There it goes. Not lit. Alright. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some brass plates, because I made some brass in the game. Because there's metallurgy in this, so like your first kind of step into like metal tools is copper. So you can see I even have some copper ingots sitting back here. And then from copper you upgrade to bronze, which I have some of that too. And from bronze you upgrade to iron, which I have here, because I've been collecting a bunch of iron for this whole go into the archives thing. But there's other things like brass, which I've got here. And then there's different types of bronze, if I can get to the right chest. Like there's bismuth bronze, and then there's black bronze, which apparently is a real world thing. I didn't even know about like that. And then there's also you can also get, like, obviously you need tin to make tin bronze, so you have tin and copper, and then bismuth and zinc for making your copper and zinc for brass. I am shut up. What's going on? Alright, who's shooting copper arrows at me? I'm keeping them now. They're my copper arrows. I see you hiding over there by my house. General Efficiency was over there messing with me. Oh no, this is just nighttime. It's just a stormy nighttime out. Brass plates. There we go. I love this Hellhammer. It's one of the greatest things ever. So this is on my community server, by the way, which is part of the reason we're doing like all the prep work. How's it going, General Efficiency? You doing good? I see you got your cigar there. That's from a mod that we added to add clothing. The other thing about Vintage Story that's different than Minecraft is how much more easily moddable it is. Magic time? Oh, you gonna do some carbon? Oh yeah, like, they have an entire mod database, and you can quite literally go and be like, ooh, I want that mod, and click it and install it. Done. It's that fast. My wife just did that earlier because she has bad motion sickness problems with the game. Oh no, this one ran out of fuel. Hold on. And so she got a true third-person camera mod today. And what's cool is, some mods are client-side, and some mods are server-side. Some mods are both. And that one's a client-side mod, so she can just use it without affecting the server for the rest of the people. Yeah, it's so much easier. And here's the great thing. You want to turn off your mods? You can quite literally go into the mod folder, copy them all out, put them in a different folder, and now you're back to vanilla. Done. And you can even have multiple folders set up, so you can be like, oh, I want to play with this set of mods today, you know? And I'm going to eat some of your food, dear. These are spoiling. I'm going to eat some of that. Where they go bad. Like, we're running about 20-ish mods on the server right now, I think. It's not on Steam, and the developer is kind of adamant that he's not going to put it on Steam. He doesn't like the refund policy. He likes the refund policy they had better. So most people just get it from their store. Magic time, watch this, is going to be awesome. One click turns into walnut planks. You just made those walnut planks plink. You just turned that wood pink. I gave General Efficiency a chiseling mod on the server, and he's going crazy with it. Yeah, this is a private server I'm running. This is for my community. Members of my community are welcome to come play on the server. But they also have a public server, which they're actually going to be wiping and resetting to the new version of the game sometime this month. The developer runs. And you can set up, you can run it on your computer, you can set up private servers. I use gPortal, in case people are wondering where I set up my server. And I just FTP in, dump the mods in the mod folder I want for the server, and it auto installs them for people, and then it uninstalls them when they log off the server. Great. So they don't have to worry about if they've got the right mods for the server. And like, I'm running some mods too. Like, you see all this information down here on the left and the upper part of my screen? That's a client mod that I'm running that isn't on the server, just to give me a little more heads-up display information about stuff. You know. Same with this. Watch this. I've got a zoom key, so I can zoom in a little bit. That's just a client-side mod I'm running. As long as you follow the rules that are on the community, join the Discord, and all the informations are there. So if you check my YouTube description, there's a link to the Discord. You can click on. It'll automatically give you the free access permissions to the Discord, which gets you into this particular server. I will have other servers in the future that will be for paid members only, but this one's going to be open to everybody, free or paid, for my supporters. My wife is cooking pears. She's drying pears. Alright, now what was I going to do? Right, I was going to get... Are you building a stage in my workshop? I think General Efficiency is building a stage in my workshop. Gray, okay. Or, well, kind of a off gray. We'll say light gray. Blue, nice, okay. White, alright. Cream, maybe. Closer to white, I think. Alright, I'm letting you cook. I'm letting you cook. I was just seeing what you're doing. I wasn't stopping you. Alright, we're gonna make some lanterns though real quick. Get some clear quartz. And there we go. So, brass plate. It can be any plate. You can do iron, copper, steel if you go that high in the tech tree and want to waste your steel making lanterns for some reason. I wouldn't. And then either glass or quartz. I'm just using quartz because I don't have a whole bunch of glass sitting around. And there we go. 3 brand new lanterns. And this is my bismuth lantern. My fancy lantern. I made that lantern out of bismuth. And then you can press X to put it in your offhand and carry it around with you. The government wants you to stop drinking 2 Baja Blasts a day. Well, General Efficiency, I can't help you with that. I mean... I'm going to put this lantern here so get a little more light over here. I'm going to put this one here for some more light there. There we go. Is that enough light for you, dear? Can I help out? Let me put that one here. Trying to light up my workshop a little bit better. What are you carving? What are you carving here, General Efficiency? Is this like the auto carving tool thing you've got? This chiseling mod is another mod I added. Chiseling is part of the base game, but the mod gives you a lot more functionality with it. That's really cool. Uh-oh. I think I know what you're chiseling, and I think my wife's going to be completely jealous here. I mean, I've done some weird things at 3 a.m., so don't feel bad. It's not 3 a.m. for me, obviously. I'm in the Eastern Standard Time Zone, so it's like 9:30 p.m. for me. Alright, dear, you have to come check out the workshop.
Hold on.
Okay, well, you got a few seconds before General Efficiency finishes. Nice. But yeah, no, you're welcome to join the server. We're actually going to go do a big story event on the game, because unlike Minecraft, there's actually a story that the devs have put into the game. Now, only the first 2 chapters, as the dev measures chapters,
Oh my god.
are in the game.
Just heard it.
Yeah. Okay, dear, you're getting picky about how your French flags are displayed. My wife's a Francophile. She's an American, and her degree's in Napoleonic history, a master's degree in it. Matter of fact, she's technically ABD in Napoleonic history. She just never finished her dissertation. But yeah, so on Saturday we're gonna run a big story POI, which is gonna be a long journey. It's actually right around 5,000 blocks south of where I'm standing right this second. Called Resonance Archives, kind of the first story point. And then from there you go to like some other story locations to continue the rest of the story. But even so, to give you an idea of how long the story content takes, in my vanilla playthrough, which is on my channel, there's a whole playlist for it, where I'm doing nothing, no mods in the server on that playthrough, and I'm trying to play through the entire story content. It's alright. But I'm doing the whole story that's currently available. Let me rephrase that, because they've got 6 more chapters to add to the story, and I'm at 160-something hours, and I have not finished the last section. Like, and part of that's just because of prep work and stuff I've been working on. Like, actually, we've got wind right now, so I should actually process all this iron. I've been sitting on, like, 42 iron blooms that I need to process. And I got 12 more right there getting made. And throw that up there. Grab my coal. So I'm going to need some coal. So there's also coal, not just, like, charcoal. This is actual coal. You can go mine this out in the world. It's so much more... To me, it's like, don't get me wrong. I played a lot of Minecraft. I bought Minecraft when I was, like, still, like, right around my high school days. Back when Minecraft was still very early on, and it was only $9. You know. Before Microsoft ever bought Mojang and all that. And I played the fool out of Minecraft. I played it with friends, all kinds of stuff. I never really did modded Minecraft. Never got into modding it. Just because it was too complicated for me to mod. And if something gets too complex, or too, like, I have to buy the mods from the game store, I don't do it. Well, this is, like, ridiculously easy. Hello, cat. That's my hand. So, but then I found this game, thanks to a friend. It's his community, like his gaming community was like playing it. And they're trying to get him to play it. And he's like, you should go check out this game, since you love survival games. And it was only like a year ago that my friend told me this. And I was like, yeah, alright, I'll go look into it. And then I looked into it, and I was like, well, it's only like $22 in USD. It's 20 bucks. It's 20 euro. Or $22 in American dollars. And I was like, you know what, for that, that's fine. I'll buy it. They've got, like, I did a little bit of research on it, watched a couple YouTubers play it. Yeah, it's not bad at all. And considering it's still quote-unquote early access, and the devs are very active.
Somebody please go kill the Bowthorn.
You got a Bowthorn over here?
Just shut me.
Okay, you want to see the horror aspect? There it is. This is the horror aspect of the game. This is the monstrosities. This is a Bowthorn. I'm going to come up here. These guys actually hate melee, so they won't fight you in melee. Alright. He didn't drop anything. That cheap Bowthorn. Actually, no, he did. He dropped... No, that's the arrow I shot at him. Yeah, that's actually probably the most horrifying of the creatures in the game. Is the Bowthorn. And before you're like, oh god, why is that dude's ribs sticking out his back? Those aren't ribs. That's actually some sort of mechanical creature. So most of the monsters, let me phrase that, because we don't know what's going to come in future story content, are mechanical monstrosities that were corrupted by something. There's different theories about what corrupted them to make them that way. And all that's story content that you can, like, research and learn in the game.
What is this?
What's what, dear?
There's a thing sticking off of my oven.
Hold on. Let me get the thing going here. And that's the Bowtorn. Oh, that's the thing the Bowtorn was shooting at you. It'll despawn in a bit. But there's also drifters, which are like these little short, like mechanical, almost like cloth and metal golem creatures. They're like, they come up like as high as this fence, and they're kind of annoying. They might throw a rock at you occasionally, but they're not super dangerous. There are more dangerous versions of them. The one we just fought was what's called a surface Bowtorn, which is the weakest variety. Same with like the drifters and stuff. And then there's a shiver, which is kind of this four-legged monstrosity that wanders around. Yeah, the drifters will throw rocks if they can't get to you. They're kind of annoying like that, but that's also kind of hilarious because so you can trick the drifters into getting into slap fights with each other. So if there's a group of them trying to fight you and you get to a place where they can't get to you and one of them decides to throw a rock and one of the other drifters walks in front of it and gets hit by the rock, it'll turn around and start fighting the other drifter. It's hilarious. I love causing that to happen myself. Unfortunately, I've never seen them fight other of the creatures. Like, I've never seen them fight a shiver, which is, again, like a four-legged, almost, like, spider-legged dog creature. It's just... The shivers, if you have arachnophobia... there are boss fights. There are currently 2 bosses in the game. The first one is at the Resonance Archives. Yeah, if you hate spiders... there's a couple of creatures in this game that you're not going to like. One is the Shiver, which is the one you'll see on the surface. And then there's something called the Locust, which is like a small mechanical spider. However, because this is a problem that I'm aware of for people, I'm actually going to be doing a video, probably in the next few days, about a arachnophobia mod that helps you deal with that and get rid of spider-like creatures from the game by replacing them with a different texture, basically. And that's because one of my players also has severe arachnophobia. And so I went and found this mod for him. And so I'm going to be doing a little video about it in the next couple days. And the cool thing is, I don't have to install it on the server. You can install it on your own copy of the game so that you don't see them, but everyone else still will if they want to, if that makes sense. Because that's a client mod. So I don't have to put it on the server for people. You can just install it on your own copy of the game. Because that's one of the other things, is this game has client-side mods, which only affect you. But you can still use them on any server you connect to. And they also have server-side mods, which you install on the server, and it's there for everybody. And then they have some that fall in the category of both, where you can put them on either one. But that's really cool. Like, the devs have done a really good job, and the modding community is impressive, some of the stuff they turn out. I've been very impressed with some of the mods that they've made. Sorry if the Hellhammer's a bit loud, by the way. I might need to run a third furnace to keep this thing working here. Oh, there we go. Oh, I've played a ton of Project Zomboid. I actually need to do another playthrough since they just released the multiplayer update for Build 42 or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so I love Project Zomboid. Yep. It's actually one of the servers I'm considering running for the community as a Project Zomboid server at some point. Just because I enjoy multiplayer Project Zomboid. Especially with some of the changes they've made in the Build 42 crafting system. I can see where multiplayer Zomboid could be a lot of fun. Yeah, and I have other members of the community that loves Project Zomboid, like Army Bacon, who's not around right this second. He's off busy doing stuff. It's one of those games where it's... I don't know that anyone ever really gets, like, truly good at Project Zomboid. I mean, some people might. And of, like, my real-life friend group, people I don't know just on the internet, people I know in, like, real life, and I go to their houses sometimes, you know... I am probably the best of the players out of that group that play Project Zomboid. But even so, my longest run's only been like 2 months or 3 months in the game. I've never made it through like a winter. By the way, Hellhammer in this game, super good. Yeah, actually, I'm not even sure. Let me see how many hours I have in Project Zomboid real quick. Project Zomboid. Project Zomboid. Project Zomboid. Yeah. I got too many games. There we go. Project Zomboid. Yeah, I'm only at 316.1 hours according to this, but that could also be because that's on that branch. You made a fancy chair? Let me come see your fancy chair. Oh, look at that chair. Look at this chair that General Efficiency just whipped out over here using his chiseling tools. Can I sit in this? Hold on. Nope. How do I sit in this? Standing it here and then... Am I sitting in it? Hold on. Sort of. Yeah, no, he did a good job on that. You know, General Efficiency is like my master chiseler on the server by far. He's far better at chiseling than I am. And what's great is he can like, can't you like pick that up? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'm only live on YouTube currently. I do plan to change that at some point. Like I haven't gotten to where I'm dual streaming to YouTube and Twitch. I do have a Twitch. Oh, the wind just died down. Okay, nope. Come on, wind, come back. I don't want to do all this iron processing by hand. But yeah, I'm currently only live on YouTube. Currently. I did do some Twitch streaming in the early days. When I was first kind of figuring out this whole, you know, being like a gaming streamer and stuff. And I decided to focus more on my YouTube channel. It is cool. Hold on. Let's put that in here. Probably been losing products here from my auto pan. Oh, thank you. I'm gonna try. As I said, I want to get to the point where I'm streaming on both. I need this wind to keep going here. Alright, we'll have to do it by hand way here. Alright, time to see the blacksmithing minigame. Alright, so you can see where we've got a collection of voxels here. And since this is an iron bloom, cat, I need you to quit laying on my hand while I'm doing this. I've got to basically break off all the slag. That's what the off-colored voxels are there. And then I've got to form this thing into an ingot. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's one of the things I've been kind of changing about my YouTube channel is, while I get some views on my long-form videos and stuff, I actually prefer live streaming. It's because I prefer talking to people as I'm doing stuff. Gives me something to talk about, things to work on, things like that. And yeah, it also just gets better watch hours, if I'm honest. Which is why I really need to get back onto Twitch. go. I know there's some way to stream to both at the same time. I just haven't figured it out yet. I know a couple YouTubers I could probably go ask to do it. Go. Okay, good. Now the wind came back, so I can actually get this thing going back to work here. Instead of me having to do it by hand. I need to refill these instead of wasting coal. Yeah, there are, and most of what it is, since I use OBS, it's just like a plug-in that I need for OBS. Yeah, I'll keep those busy for a bit. Because I was looking at some of them. Oh, I just realized my character is like super hungry. Alright. Is there any food you prefer me not eating, dear? My wife's ignoring me again. I'll just eat this. That off there. Keep the bottom one. Yeah. I'm just eating my wife out of house and home here. My wife's kind of like the server's cook at the moment. Like, she's not the only one that does it, but it's kind of what she does. She doesn't like the fighting and all that. Alright. Get these iron looms out of there. And with these bloomeries here, these are made using fire bricks in the game. Which I'll show you how that works. So, you do this, because it does still have that, like, crafting window from Minecraft here, but it's just part of your inventory. It's not like you have to build a crafting table for it or whatever. Do I have enough to do another one? No, I don't. I don't have enough to do another one. Put in the top for it. There we go. And they're slowly moving more and more of it out of the crafting window. Alright, let's do this. They eventually would like to have the whole game kind of like real world crafting, where you're like crafting it out in the game world and stuff. That's the developer's goal. And if you're wondering what I'm doing there, I'm recycling old tools. Yeah. Get that one processing. These get close. And if you're wondering why I'm doing all this iron work and processing all this iron, it's because I'm trying to make a couple sets of iron chainmail for this whole big story adventure we're going on Saturday. Because I got some players that don't have any armor. And it takes 40 iron ingots to make one set of chainmail. Yeah, so this stack of 57 iron ingots that I'm looking at is only enough to make one set of chainmail. Yeah, especially once you realize how much mining that is as well. That's like a ton of mining. Yeah, and I forgot to add that you also need leather for that. Oh, that one's empty. Okay. Oh no, that is not at all the best. So, let me walk you through the armor tiers here while we're sitting here. So, I am currently wearing the bear armor, which is armor made from a bear. And this isn't even like the first armor. This is like kind of the second tier of armor you can get if you want to go like from super basic. Most basic you can get is the wooden, I think it's lamellar. Is it? These are all the shields. So the cool thing is the game has this whole like handbook where you can just go look at everything. And this is base game. This is just part of the game here. Where's the armor? Hold on. Cat, get off my computer. They like got all the different barrier armors. So yeah, the improvised body armor is like the lowest end armor you can get. You make it out of pieces of firewood. The best armor in the game is actually not something you make per se.
The base, the chair.
Oh, the chair, the general efficiency made over there? Yeah, it is fantastic. What's that do? Stack all these iron blooms together to help save a little bit of heat. But the best armor in the game is probably the fully repaired black scale guard armor. Is that? Would you agree with that general efficiency? Either that or steel. Maybe steel plate mail. Might be the next. It might be the best. But to make plate mail, you have to make chainmail. So, like, I'm making iron chainmail. I could then make that into iron plate mail if I wanted to. And if I wanted to make steel, I'd have to convert all this iron into steel, and then make the chainmail, and then make the plate mail on top of it. And it's the whole thing. You're drinking? That's fair. That's fair, alright. A general efficiency. Oh, yeah. My forges have cooled off. That's okay. Yeah, it's a lot of work. There's no enchanting in the game, because there isn't quote-unquote magic. So this is a post-apocalyptic setting, just so you know. That's why there are things like Bowtorn. There was a whole big apocalypse thing that happened 500-ish years ago, storyline-wise, is the best guess I've seen from people analyzing the story in rough time frames and things. You know, there was a little minor apocalypse where, like 90% of humanity probably died. And we'll say died in quotes there. Because it's implied that your character was around and was among those that, in quotes, died. Yeah, there's a huge deep story, and it's one of those things of like, it's not necessarily like some of it is told to you by various NPCs, because there are NPCs in the game, which we'll go visit one in a little bit. And most of the NPCs are just like NPC traders that will just trade materials with you and stuff, because there's like some commerce in the game and stuff. And matter of fact, you get started on the storyline quest line from one of the traders. There's always a specific type of trader that's close to the spawn point for your world whenever you create a new world, and that is called a treasure hunter trader. Assuming you're using base settings. If you turn off the story content, it turns off the traders. Well, normally it turns off the traders. There's ways to put them back, if that makes sense. Anyways, if you're doing a normal survival world with all that, you're just normal world. There'll be a treasure hunter trader somewhere near the spawn point where you spawn in at. You know, it might be a little ways off, but it will be in the general area. And you basically can talk to that treasure hunter trader, and yeah, he's like, and the gears that General Efficiency is talking about there in chat, that's the money for the game. That's the currency in the game. But the treasure hunter trader will tell you where the first story POI is, and give you a map to it, in exchange for a tin bronze pickaxe, basically. And that's how I have on my map location this, is the Resonance Archives, is because I paid him a tin bronze pickaxe to get the map, so that I could share that map with everybody else on the server, in case they needed it. Now, General Efficiency didn't need the map because he stumbled into it and found the story location by accident. Yeah. And there is actually a village in the game as well. But it's a story POI. It's not like there's just random villages. It's not like Minecraft. There's only one, and it's a story location. Yep, with NPCs that have like a schedule. Like they go around and like one of them is the blacksmith, and they do blacksmithing things. You know, and they go and work the shop, and you can trade with them and stuff and talk to them. You know, it's a whole thing. It's like a whole community. One of them's a town guard, and we'll fight monsters that get close to the village. Things like that. Alright. Wow, I did have more. God, I still have 29 iron blooms that I've got to process at some point. Okay. Alright. Yeah, it's all super cool. And I've done all that in my vanilla playthrough thing, where I've been to the village. And I'm actually at the... This is all out of food in here. And I actually am going to have to go back to that location in my vanilla playthrough once I complete the next part of this story. Kind of the big final part of the story. I'm stealing your pear pie, dear. Stealing my wife's pie. Because, yes, bacon's a real thing in this game. There you go. From a looks-wise, no. It doesn't look that much different. Like, because I'm not really using too many mods that add extra things. Minus the windmills. I don't have the so these vertical windmills like we've got here, that is a mod that expands the windmill system. Windmills are totally vanilla. The Hellhammer's totally vanilla. The vertical ones aren't. Right, General Efficiency? My pet dog is a mod, for example. But most of what you're seeing is vanilla. Like, all the tools you've seen are vanilla so far, minus the sluice that I was using. Alright, I'm just gonna go get something. Let me grab my money real quick. We're gonna go visit one of the merchants. Because I want to see about finishing out, because I have a set of the Blackguard Armor and part of the Forlorn Hope Armor. Like, this guy is modded in. The chicken and the deer in my living room are vanilla. I have no idea why they're spawning in my living room in the game. I'm still trying to figure that out. No, the Hellhammers, that's vanilla. That's a vanilla thing. Most of the mods I have right now on the server are cosmetic. Like, this piece of ivory, that's a mod. The rest of this, all vanilla. The beds, vanilla. Oh, by the way, this is not Minecraft. You do not respawn at your bed. Bed is not a respawn point, just FYI. Just before you get committed into that. The major mods I have are that do affect the gameplay. Yeah, so to get a respawn point, you'll naturally respawn at your spawn location, which in this case is up here. This is the spawn point for our server. Everyone spawns in this general location right here. So when you die, you just reappear here without your stuff. I moved down here. I got another player living over here. I've got some players living up over this way. And then General Efficiency actually lives like way the heck down here somewhere. I've got another player living back here. Like, that's all another player's house back there. That's my house over there. But I've got another player that built all this stuff out behind my area. But anywho, as I was saying, the only other really kind of major game-changing mod that I have is, if you'll notice, I have this thing that says melee level up. There's no leveling system in the vanilla game, but I've added a leveling mod to the vanilla game. Now, alright, I was going to show you how you create a new respawn point. So, by default, you'll respawn at the spawn-in location. By default. You can change that in the world settings. Where is it? Alright, so this temporal gear that I got from panning some dirt. You can also get these as mod drop off mobs when you kill them sometimes. You can take this, and you could hold it in your hand, like I'm doing right now. So if we go to F5, you'll see my character holding it in his hand. Right there. And I can hold right-click on the ground on a block, and it will set my respawn point to there. That's what temporal gears are for. Or it's one of the things they're for. Now, on the server, they have a limited use. They only give you 20 respawns at that point, and after that, it goes back to the regular respawn point. But you can always get another one and do it. As I said, like, the monsters drop them sometimes. You can get them from panning different materials. All that kind of stuff. You can also find them in ruins. There are ruins scattered around the world, and you can sometimes find them in there. Like this cave system, there's probably some ruins in it somewhere. Actually, I guarantee there's ruins in it somewhere. I've mined into something that's near some ruins. Because this is my iron mine over here as well. My iron mine's down this hole. And prospecting is very different in the game than what you might be used to with Minecraft. You don't strip mine. Because you have to have metal tools to mine stone, and they have durability, and when they break, they're gone. Unless you're running the mod that I'm running that lets you recycle the broken tools into some of the metal back. You don't get the whole thing back. Just because, as a former blacksmith, you would recycle metal in the real world, so I like the mod that lets me do that. Here we go. Here's one of the merchants here. There are diamonds, and you can find them, but it's not a crafting material like in Minecraft. So in this, it's all very metal-based. Diamonds are just a trade commodity in this game. You sell them to merchants. And this guy is a treasure hunter trader that I live near. And he's got a name. He'll talk to you, like, you can ask him his name. He'll tell you it's Guile or whatever. You can ask him, like, why do you use gears? And they'll tell you why, and you can talk about all that. Do you all eat y'all's ingots with or without slag? I mean, the slag adds extra value there, general efficiency. But yeah, there are diamonds. So if you go to this guy, he's got a trade menu. He'll sometimes sell diamonds. But like you can see, like he's currently selling paradots and emeralds of different grades. By the way, the potential is like kind of how good it is. He's also got some cracked vessels, which are just they're kind of like loot boxes that you can find in ruins, and he's selling some. And like he's got a food one, so it's got some random food in it. He's got one with some random seeds in it, and one with some random farming supplies. It could be like feathers, it could be flax, it could be various other things. And then he's got some clothes. Like he's got this saddle blanket for your mount. He's got some bracers, some pants, shoes, which I'm actually probably gonna buy. I was looking to see if he had some armor. Oh, he's got the greaves. My dearest wife, could you go to our house and see if I've got the Blackguard greaves already in my chest up by my bed?
What?
I was asking if you could go check to see if I've got the Blackguard greaves already in the chest by my bed.
Okay, give me a minute.
Alright. So this is how you get, like, the Blackguard armor. Or you can find it. You can also find it in ruins and dungeons. But the treasure hunter traders sometimes sell them. And then you can buy them, and then you can fix them. Because this, if you notice, it says broken. You have to repair these back to full use. And then he'll buy these things over here. Like the spelt bread, flax bread, linen sacks. He'll buy Tinsbron Falxes, which is a type of sword. Yeah, see, like General Efficiency found a Blackguard Cuirass in a ruin before. So, like... And he's got 25 gears that you can trade with him. I've got, 31 myself. The treasure hunter traders will also sometimes buy this ivory that's added by the mod that I'm using. But he's not buying it today. If you heard that sound outside... That weird kind of hissing sound. That was a shiver. That thing. That's a shiver. So. It is stuck up under this sledge here. Yeah, no, this thing is kind of nasty looking. They're not super tough, though.
The barn is active.
Yeah, there you go. He's done. That's the end of the shiver. Got a piece of black swine off of him. Let's see here. Did my arrow... Yes, there's my arrow. Nice. Trying to recover my arrows that I fired at this guy.
You have the greaves.
I have the greaves? Okay, so I don't need the greaves. Got it. Any more arrows over here? Okay. Alright, we're going to go to the other treasure hunter trader since this one doesn't have anything I care about. You can handle the nastiness of the creatures because of your third X. Wow, general efficiency. Long story. No, I believe it. Sounds like one. But yeah. Oh, leaf joined. Nice. Oh. Oh. White oyster mushrooms are in stock. Hold on. I'm gonna harvest these mushrooms. Mushroom tree regroots mushrooms. This is the other thing about the game. I always get distracted by foraging. Yeah, man. Look forward to having you back in chat. But you get some rest. Have a good night. Go. Let's see here. Cool. Let's see here. And there's my other treasure hunter traders over this way. Yep, see you around, dude. I assume you dude. Sorry. I'm making assumptions. Come on. Let me through the trees. There we go. Not buying any of the stuff I want to sell. I get this belt. Oh, Leaf's talking about his food's all rotting. I'm telling Leaf if he needs food, please raid our cellar. We have so much food right now. Alright, I don't need the squire tunic. I think I do need the lackey shoes and messenger shoes. I have the squire boots. I have the squire hood. So let's buy that. What we're going to do real quick is we're going to equip these. There we go. And if I do slash crate clothier. Yes, I just need one more piece of clothing. And I'll have the clothier crate. You want your tin bronze sword. Can I have your sword? No. He's not gonna let me have the sword. Alright. And I'm out here without my lantern, because I'm smart. Yeah. Put that in my offhand. We got some more mushrooms, which I'll grab while I'm out and about. Because it's mushroom season, apparently. Any more? Yeah, there's some more right here. I hear what sounds like things. I feel like I'm hearing boat horn in the distance somewhere. Those. Get these mushrooms here. Man, so many mushrooms. I'm just getting distracted by the mushrooms. There we go. Right. Every time I think I've cleared them all, I'll find more. Now, part of the reason I'm also going after all these mushrooms is because as I get these mushrooms, it actually levels up my my foraging skill, thanks to that mod I'm playing with.
Where am I gonna put the mushrooms?
Well, some of these are just going to go in the, like, you know, composter. My wife's like, we don't have the storage for the mushrooms. Quit grabbing mushrooms. And I'm like, but shrooms. Need all the mushrooms. Need the mushrooms. They called me. Alright, there we go. Alright, I got one more inventory slot. We'll take the lobster mushrooms. Oh, we got chicken in the wood too, though. Oh my god. I'm just gonna mark this spot real quick here. Mushrooms. Just orange. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna keep going before I get too distracted. Sword out, just because I've seen some hostile critters around. Search activity's calm, though, so shouldn't see too many, like, monstrosities. See someone hopping around over there. Although with the wind speed up, you get time to get back to foraging. Eat that piece of pie there. There we go. Topping off my hunger bar like that also levels up the hunger skill in the game, for those who are wondering, which is the trait that makes you get less hungry. Hungry more slowly, I should say. There we are. Back at home. Get this off my toolbar there. You wanted more mushrooms right here. There we go. Yeah, see here. We have some of those. We have some of those. We have some of those. Common morals. There we go. There. And oh, we had some tenderhoof. We do have some tenderhoof. There we go. All right. I managed to actually find storage for all the mushrooms. Yep. There's some bread that I sold from the juicer. Oh, my wife's telling me that she's got some bread she made in the game. She's selling the whole server. Here we go. We're going to put these in here to rot. That's what I do with the poisonous mushrooms, folks. I rot the poisonous mushrooms. Gonna go put the clothes and the stuff away. You're logging out, dear? My wife's having to log up. The game makes her a bit motion sick, unfortunately. There we go. I could have gone with the squire belt. Alright. Well, never for next time. I should put my gears away. My ivory. Alright, let's see here. Put these white oyster mushrooms in there. There we go. Plenty of food stored up now. I'm going to throw my lantern back up there because now it's time to get back to refining iron. That is my life. I refine iron. Throw this flax in here so that I can drown army bacon in flax when he gets online. Yep. Let's see here. Eye over there, put that there. Check my auto panning system, see how it's going. I got some more gears. Nice, take those. Got some more coal. Should pull out. Got another stack of fire clay. Alright. We'll just pull all that out. Okay. So much halite. Put this halite over here. There we go. Even more halite. Good lord. I do think this pan might be slightly overpowered. Let's take this chalk here. Because I don't need chalk, if I'm honest. I'm gonna put it in my storage. There we go. Alright. Put away my fire clay. Cool. Alright. Let's get some more smithing done. Put this here for now. Grab all my brown coal, because I like using my brown coal for my smithing purposes, folks. Go. Now let's get these forges going. And try not to set my hellhammer on fire. Boom. There we go. Oh, I should ask. Is it okay online? It's here. There we go. I was telling them some of the plan for the archives. So, is this a general efficiency? Is this like a purser's desk? Oh man, this looks like a purser's desk. It's nice. I like that desk. Give you a nice purple throne. Oh man, did you add padding to this? What do you have here? Purple heart planks with the coloring. Nice. Sock waxing. Alright. Mixing coal. Those going. Oh, 8. So I can put some more sails in this. Alright, let's see here. So I need my chisel, right? So I need chisel and fat. So let's grab a couple of these. Two. Yes. Alright, so where's my... There's my foil. There we go. Chisel. Hammer. Done. So we're going to do this, hammer, chisel. There we go. So basically, folks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some more windmills to my thing. There we go. By the way, it's like the longest part of making chainmail is just processing on the iron. Alright, so now make say 6 chisel. Oh, yes, love. So I know I need this. Then, like... There we go. We're gonna get this done. Keep switching out the iron ingots here. Yep. Alright, so then it was what? This we need. 3. These. Chisel. Hammer. 3. So there's that. Nice. While that runs, we're gonna jump over general efficiency here. So if I do this right, because this should have 4 on it. So there we go. Alright. We're slowly increasing our sail power. Yeah, Leaf, you better get over there. I think General Efficiency's serious about this meeting and employee review thing. There we go. Keep those going. I'll finish up the sail project later. It's still an impressive desk with general efficiencies built there. Alright. I know, I saw it. That's an awesome desk. Oh, you got glass? Leaf was giving me a bunch of cranberries for the bread. Nice. I'll go through these in the storage that I don't have. Oh, dried currant. Actually, that's something I can do. Yeah, this way. Don't need this bucket of oil. I think general efficiency's gotten into the brandy. Man. Self-hammer's working great. Go. I'm just not gonna tell my wife that you're drinking her brandy.
It's not for general consumption.
I hope you. Well, you should have gotten off.
Just letting it fill up the barrel. Or the bucket before I moved it. You drank it all. You did?
Yep, I drank all your brandy. No, I did not drink all your brandy, dear. General Efficiency had a small hit of your brandy, though. Getting lost there, General Efficiency? Yeah, welcome to drinking in the game, man. Just be happy we're not running X skills, as that's how you actually lose the skills. Alright. I'm drying some cranberries, dear. Because Leaf gave us a stack of cranberries for the bread. I'm just drying them. I'm just working on processing all this iron. There we go. But I hope everybody out there in chat's having a good day. I'm sitting here processing all the iron. Yeah, General Efficiency, you need to go finish that thing. It's going down. Yeah, Leaf was asking about the skill gain. Yeah, that should still be a thing, Leaf. It just slows down a bit. I really need a second held hammer at this rate. Alright. Back and forth. Sword does not go in the oven. And yeah. My wind speed is slowing down. What's that, dear? I'm just trying to finish the last of these iron ingots. There we go. Alright. We're getting there, folks. We're almost done with the iron. Got 14 of them done. More to go. I'm impressed at how long this oven's staying lit. Might actually dry all these berries here. Go. This one's almost ready. I was just telling Leaf that that's my new hyper auto panner machine that I got crazy and built. There we go. I'm showing him this ridiculous thing I've started doing where I basically take and I pan stuff, I put it in this box, and I grind it into gravel, and I repan it. Because that's mechanically fair. Oh goodness. Alright, probably not going to get all these done, but I think that'll be the last ones I try. Oh no, my forge went out. There we go. Alright. Forge is relit. There we go. Selling them. I've been feeding it mostly limestone gravel. Alright. One thing I will do. Take one of these. Let's do this real quick. Can I make... Yes, I can. Rubble hammer. There it is. Go. Fold all these down. I'm going to show him how this thing works. I'm showing him how you make gravel out of the stones. There you go.
We still have a big beach.
That's oh, yes. Squares. There we go. There we go. Had to show him how that works. Alright. There we go. That's all added by the stone quarry mod, by the way, folks. Alright, let me go put this stuff away somewhere. I can put the dried fruit in here. Put the fresh fruit somewhere. There, you can go in here with the salt. I don't know why Leaf is starving to death or whatever. I know there's food in there, dear. My wife's sitting here telling me, why won't you go eat? Well, I don't know. Away this cool. Yeah, I'll just put it in here. That's fine. Six more ingots here, then I'll be done with the iron. But yeah. There we go. We're good. I'll show you all how this works too. So let's see here. We've got some sand, so we'll hit control. Grab a stack of sand. I just come over here and just throw the stack of sand in here. And it auto feeds it right into the panning machine. And just dumps it into the chest. Probably the most ridiculous waste of copper I've ever made. Hello, Augustus. You're back to lay on my hand again. That's my cat, by the way, folks. Trying to lay on my hand while I'm trying to finish smelting this, or working this iron. Cat. Cat. Love you too, but you're making this hard for me, cat. Cat. He is quite literally smashing his face into my hand. Oh my god, cat. That's my hand. That's my hand. And those are claws. Being incredibly insistent about this cat. I love you, yes. Yes, you're a sweet cat. Any mornings. Little cat. Still shoving your face into my hand. Is it iron bloom? Yes, it did. Well, that iron bloom can wait. Because it's not heated up. Yeah, you're gonna kill my cell phone. I'm gonna knock my cell phone off my desk. Yep, next one. Gotta do this while they're still hot enough to process. But yeah, you can see how it's this water pushes it all down into the hoppers, which then dump it into the chests. I built it this way because originally there was like some problem where the stuff would get stuck occasionally. But now it's all getting pushed to this one, so I could probably actually eliminate these other hoppers. But it is what it is now. I'm just going to leave it. And you can see it's filling in slowly. Getting so much like halite and stuff. It's just ridiculous. This iron sluice from the sluice mod is ridiculous. I'm going to do a mod on the whole thing at some point. Or mod review, I should say, of the whole thing, so people can see what it's all about. Alright. Hope general efficiency, like, as much as I like this desk is fantastic. Can I do anything with this now? Okay, those don't actually work. They're not working drawers. I was going to say it'd be best if we somehow made working drawers in a chiseled desk. There we go. Final one. Alright. Put these in my iron stack. There we go. Here you go, okay. I'm showing okay, my crazy auto sluice. There you go. There we go. I had to save them for the... Shoots. Yeah, I cannot use the mouse with you, like, laying on my hand. Ah, hello, general efficiency. What's up? Okay. Yeah, I need my hand, cat. Cat. Alright, there we go. Stone. Yeah. Hi, Augustus. I cannot control my computer with you standing on my mouse. So, Chad, I've been momentarily disabled by a cat and has decided he's going to sit on my mouse to keep me from using my computer. Oh, there he goes. He ran over the mic, trying to get away from me. Even though I wasn't really chasing him, I was just looking at him. Alright. There we go. And then we just throw this back in here. There we go. I was just telling him I've been rubbing stone at the beginning from panning just back to the rubble storage to make more rubble. And it more. To make more gravel. Turn that off because I don't actually need that anymore. Go. Oh my god, General Efficiency, what have you made? Why has Roblox invaded my Vintage Story server? I have 64 iron ingots. This is ridiculous. Look, I could almost make 2 chainmail sets. Actually, I think I could. I think the bottom one's 64 and the top one's 48, so I could make 2 chainmail sets. Alright, folks. Well, for those of you watching my stream, I am probably going to call it there. Go get some sleep, because I unfortunately do have a day job that I have to go to in the morning. You know, day job. Go through that in there. This one's... There we go. I'm gonna empty my storage and my sluice one more time, just to make sure it's got enough space to keep running. See, is there anything that's... Yeah, that's full up. That can go in here. Grab those. Just get them out of the way. Anything else that's full stack? Yeah, that's a full stack of gold. That's the ridiculous part, is the fact that we've been getting like full stacks of gold out of this thing. Alright. Anything else in here? Alright, that should be enough. There we go. He's saying it looks like the wooden pan has a better drop rate on temporal gears, and I was telling him that's because the wooden pan has a smaller drop table that it picks from. In case people are wondering. But anyways, alright folks, we're going to call it there on this stream. I finished my iron processing for the most part. Now I'm just going to make chainmail. We're working on getting food up. We got tons of healing stuff already kind of in storage thanks to my wife and others. So at this point, it's really just kind of finishing weapons and armor for folks, so that we can go on our run to the archives on Saturday. We're going to do that Saturday, 2 p.m. EST. I'll be posting all that online so people can watch. Leaf needs armor. Okay, well, I guess Leaf's working on his own armor. Anyways, folks, I'll catch you all later. Thank you all for joining me and hanging out. And if you like this, you know, make sure to like and subscribe, all that some fun stuff. Or, heck, join my community and hang out. So, catch you all in the next stream or episode. And you all have a great one.